All government politicians and the fake opposition parties with them should be thrown out of their jobs. They should be fired. I want to show you some clips recorded back in 2016, part of the Vincent Browne show during the general election campaign. These were recorded at a time when there were 6,000 people on the homeless register. Just 6,000. The number has increased over 130% since then, with 14,000 people homeless and over 4,000 of those being children. Have a look at my comments from 2016 and just look at the faces of the politicians that are lined up, most of whom became senior government ministers.
We continue the discussion on housing. Okay, you want to get in?
May I respond, Vincent? I think, if I may use the word blather, that we've heard between these principal parties here on the issue of housing calls to question, how is it, if a government cannot be effective to house the people that they think they should remain in government, they should be thrown out of their jobs if they can't house people with the millions of talking about. We have put up with this talk and throwing figures around the place for years, and I bet you we'll be here in 10 years' time again, unless people grasp it and put these parties to one side.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, that was 8 years ago, and it's worse than ever now. Are the so-called opposition any better? I think not. Fellow citizens, we have a decision to make. Who will represent us in the future? We have elections now for local government and for the European Parliament on June 7th. We should consider carefully who is worthy of being voted for.
Vincent, I think if we cast our mind back to the Celtic Tiger, the fairy tale that was, an awful lot of working families never actually felt or knew that Celtic Tiger. Instead, the state and the lives of families have been ravaged all over the country. But what happened 5 years ago was a government which was bankrupt of every idea they had was thrown out. And we have a new government which was based on various promises. And what they have done is exactly the same thing. We're back today with promises. Now we're trumped. 200,000 jobs are going to arrive instead of 100. And the people of Ireland, in my experience going around talking to the homes, they don't believe this. And what they are crying out for is someone to represent them properly. We have 5 Táchtaí Dáil, so not one of them has consulted with the people on even the major issues of the day. Not one of them have consulted us with Irish Water. None of them. They're coming up with millions now. Why didn't they house the homeless like they promised? There are 2 people came into our resource centre yesterday, homeless people living in cars. And the scandal is they're discovering 2 billion up and down in this fiscal space. It is a joke. People's lives are being destroyed. So we need to call spades spades. Dump the political parties. That's my opinion.
Okay, yeah.
This sorry lot are not going to change their stripes at all. These are people who are hell-bent on pursuing the interests of the powerful vested interests who rule over us, most of whom are actually even foreign to Ireland, banks and so on like that, vulture funds, that are preying on the resources of the Irish people big time. So we have to call a halt to it. I hope in these coming elections, if you're in the Cove electoral area, that you will vote for myself, Diarmaid or Cadhla. And if you're wherever you are around the country, do not vote for the parties of vested interests, i.e. those in government, or the fake opposition, those who have pretended to be the friends of the working class and of the Irish people. They're not our friends. They have never taken a stand. They have never really called out government on the sellout of Ireland. We need to take that stand. Perhaps there are people out there, there is still time to stand up and be counted. Stand as candidates in the local government elections. It doesn't take that much. Let's build. If we make progress in these local and European elections, perhaps we'll be stronger going into the next general elections. Thank you.